What's going on, guys? It's Zach. We are back with a full back workout here, specifically the lats. So my back workouts have kind of changed in the last 6 months to a year. I would usually come in and hit like a heavy compound movement like barbell rows, and then move on to just hitting a bunch of accessories to hit the whole back. Lately I've been splitting it up, so I've been doing like a lat day, a lat focused day, and then more of a mid back / trap focus day. So today we're gonna be focused mainly on the lats, and we're starting out with one arm dumbbell rows. And you can see I kind of changed up the form here a little bit. So what I'm doing is whatever arm I'm doing, I'm putting that foot forward and putting most of my weight on that foot. What that's gonna do is it's gonna lock your hips in, so your hips aren't gonna be able to swing back and forth to get momentum. And it's gonna allow you to stretch at the lat to fully lengthen that lat. Then what I'm cueing myself on doing is retracting my scapula, pulling my shoulder back and down, and then driving with the elbow up towards my hip. So you can kind of see that here. Retract, down, and then pull the elbow. So that's kind of what I'm thinking as I'm doing this. And you can't go very heavy because you're not getting any momentum or anything in there. And I have the fit grip on there, so it's working on the grip a little bit. So I think that's like 50, 60 pounds maybe. So like nothing compared to what I would do if you're using momentum to kind of get that dumbbell started and then squeezing at the top there. But moving on to lat pull downs, and you guys have seen me do these before. Really enjoy doing them on the cables, the individual cables here. And so some cues here: drive with the elbows. Everything on back day is drive with the elbows. But what you want to make sure you're doing is, see how I'm kind of letting my shoulders come up, and then I'm trying to pull my shoulders down before I start to pull down with my elbows. So I'm letting that lat get lengthened as it can get. And then the first movement is me trying to pull my shoulders down and then pull my elbows down, and keeping them pretty wide. And so what I would do is kind of rep that out like very slowly and controlled, and then move on to just a slight lean back, and just whatever's left in the tank, just hit a little bit of mid back traps with. So you're gonna see that here in a second. So right here, just kind of repping out whatever you got left in the tank. And I did that with a few movements throughout this workout, just kind of changing it up a little bit and getting anything that's left in there. So a few sets of those, and then we moved on to one of my favorite back exercises that I've been doing lately, which is going to be a straight bar row, but we're putting some handles on there so that you have mobility of the wrists and everything. So you can see I have like the rope handles on there. So and what you want to make sure of is make sure that the seat is a little bit higher. We don't want too much elbow flexion. We don't want too much elbow bend. So you can see when I'm contracting, my elbows are about not even 90 degrees. They're probably more than 90 degrees, which is what we want. We don't want it to be less than 90 degrees. We don't want too much elbow flexion, because then we're going to be bringing in a little bit more bicep. So I'm really focusing on pulling, like dragging right down across my thighs. That's what I'm trying to show you with that creepy angle right there. But the huge cue that completely changed this movement for me is when you pull your elbows back and contract your lats, try to pull your elbows in towards your body very slightly. But what that's going to do is kind of activate. It's going to try to fully shorten your lat. It's going to activate those fibers that run horizontally on your lat. And just that cue alone completely changed this movement for me. It became a movement where I was using, a lot of momentum to kind of pull the bar back and not really feeling it in my lats, to a movement where I was putting, only like 4 or 5 plates on that stack and just really focusing on getting that squeeze and it was awesome. So definitely give that a shot, and just repping it out there at the end, using some momentum and everything. So going from there to some close grip pull down, and we're trying here to get the lat as lengthened as possible. So you can see just how high my shoulders are at the top there. And I'm not doing a very good job of pulling my shoulders down at the start there, but I should be focusing on pulling those shoulders down and then driving the elbows straight down. So, and make sure you're keep that chest up. You know, you can have a slight lean back. I wouldn't go too far, but slight lean back, chest up, and then focus on the shoulders and the elbows, and you're gonna feel that right in your lats. And when your hands are inside of your shoulder width, and that's where we're gonna be able to get the lat as lengthened as possible. So it's just a slight, you know, so we're going with the V bar here, which is just slightly inside shoulder width. So focus a lot on that stretched portion. So you can see I'm just spending time in that stretched portion here, and then focusing on driving the elbows down and back. Boom. Going on to a little experimental exercise here. I'm not sure where I saw these being done, or if I saw them being done, or if I made them up. I don't think I did, but anyway, so we're going with a inclined cable seal row here. So you can see the setup here. What I'm trying to do is bias the lat fibers that run horizontally. So I really was trying to just get the elbows out, or get the elbows back and almost around my back a little bit. So you can see from this angle, just driving the elbows back, and then I'm doing that cue that I told you guys in the straight bar row. I'm getting those elbows back, and then I'm just pulling them slightly around my back. And it's just a very unique feeling in the lats. Here's kind of a good angle from behind. Make sure, you know, all the cues that applied before, you know, keep those shoulders locked in and down, and then drive with the elbows. So this was a really unique feeling exercise that I threw in here, and I'm probably gonna try to incorporate a little bit more of this. And I think I ended up doing a drop set here. So like, you know, I worked up to something heavy for 8 to 10, and then you know, on that last set, just did like a triple drop, you know, until I couldn't anymore. So only 5 movements in this workout, but hit a lot of volume, and all of these movements are movements that I feel very, very well in my lats. So I would rather do these than, you know, some movement that I'm not feeling, you know, at all in my lats. So if you guys are digging the workout, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment if you try any of these exercises. I will see you guys next week. Peace.